Okay, so moving into our spine health routine. I'm just going to ask Anne to demonstrate here. She'll come on to hands and knees, which is what I want you to do. This is our quadruped position. And from there, just pushing your hands into the mat, tuck the chin, pushing up and back to the ceiling. Away you go. As you do that, good, just follow your breathing. Some people prefer to breathe in on the way up and out on the way down. Then as she comes down, she sort of arches the back, head forward, and then up. And so in this position here, just getting a little bit of flexion, extension through the spine. This routine here is really good for anyone that has any sort of back issues. If you've got sort of disc bulge issues, then you may need to watch out with how far you go through your flexion extension. But usually sort of muscular issues and stuff. And it's actually just a really nice routine to go through regularly, just to keep some mobility and blood flow through the vertebra of the spine. From there, so after you've done your flexion extension work, I want you to bring your knees in towards one another, lift your feet, and this one's called the tail wag. So after getting flexion extension, you get a bit of lateral work through the spine. So as your feet go one way, the head tilts the same way, and then you come back the other way. Nice work. And just working nice and slowly, side to side, just getting a bit of lateral movement through the spine. Now, although we do a lot of work on stability and protecting the spine, it's actually a really robust, strong structure. And it's got a lot of movement capacity in it. And this is just another way to ensure that we try and maintain that movement capacity and keep it moving well, flowing well, and moving freely. Okay, so after you've done these ones, coming down on your back. And this one's a bit of it's called an abdominal twist, but you just get a little bit of rotation through some of the segments of the spine. So feet flat on the mat, knees, hips, feet parallel. Let's bring your arms up, and I want you to hold your elbows in front of your chest. Now, so from there, what you're going to do is as you breathe in, as you inhale, you're going to let your legs fall to one way and your head and shoulders to the other. As you exhale, breathe out and bring everything back to the midline again. And then go the other way. Breathe in and out. And once again, just working through whatever range you're comfortable with, moving side to side, getting a little bit of rotation through the spine, maintaining your breathing. You might feel a nice stretch through the lower back. You might feel a nice stretch through sort of the back of the shoulders, whatever works for you. From there, come back to the middle, and you can add an additional sort of rotation through this one. So this time I'm going to ask Anne to bring her arms towards me and her head and knees the other way. So now you just get an extra sort of stretch through that spine segment up around the thoracic spine. Breathing in as you go down, breathing out as you come back up. In as you go down, breathing out as you come back up. Nice work, do a few more of those. Good. Okay, and one more back to the middle. Okay, from here, once again, take your feet out a little bit sort of just below the hips, and I want you to bring your arms right up in front, fingers pointing to the ceiling. From there, draw your shoulder blades back to the mat. So in that position there, what that does is just sort of helps to align our spine in a nice neutral position. Now this exercise is called pelvic tilting. So what you're essentially doing is you're going to rotate your pelvis up a little bit towards your belly button, and then you rotate it away. Now as you do that, I don't really want you to get a big arch in the back or go so far up that you lift your hips off the floor. The idea here is just to get a little bit of sort of neuromuscular input, so the nervous system and the muscles working together to isolate the movement of the pelvis. It's really important that we can sort of dissociate the movement of the pelvis from the movement of the lower back, and we can separate those and get a bit of a stretch in the lower back and just create some motor control and awareness over the movement that we have available to us in the pelvis. Nice work, up and down. Once again, following your breathing, in on the way up, out on the way down. It doesn't really matter if you've got it mixed up. The idea is just to maintain that nice, smooth, regular breathing. Okay, from there, hands down by your side, legs out straight. Now, as we've just done in terms of isolating the movement of the pelvis, now we're going to isolate some of the movement of the hips or the head of the femur up in the acetabulum of the pelvis, which is the hip socket. In order to do that, a little bit of core control, so we sort of restrict the movement around the lower back and the spine. And I want you to treat your feet like windscreen wipers. So let's turn the toes in and then turn the toes out, in and out. And not too fast, not too slow. And as you do that, even if you put your fingers on the sort of hip there, you'll feel the bone sort of rotating. Once again, all we're trying to do here is just separate the movement of the hips from the movement of the pelvis. You know, they're not just one structure all stuck together that's nice and rigid. We try and get a little bit of free movement through that, that area. You can also then go both the same direction. So let's go both to the right, both to the left. Okay, nice work. And then the last one in this position is called the X. So take your feet out nice and wide, hands up above your head, like the letter X if you're looking down, bird's eye view. Now what you're going to do is, with your hands, I want you to bring your palms up, fingers pointed down. That way, that's right. From there, we're going to take a big breath in. Without arching your back, I want you to push it out as far as you can through your palms and your heels. Visualize elongating out through the spine, and then exhale, relax. We'll do this a couple of times, so a couple of normal breaths. It's a really nice stretch in terms of sort of stretching out, elongating through the spine. You'll find a nice stretch through the legs, through the arms. One more time. Big breath in, and then push up and out. Good stretch, as though you're being sort of drawn and quartered. Exhale, relax. Now you can go through that one more time, or as many times as you like. It's a really nice stretch, but that whole routine is a really nice way of getting some movement through the segments of the spine, exploring some of that range we've got available. Okay, well done.